Is the Petal Card a scam or is it not? Do I recommend it or do I not recommend it? Now, for the first time ever in a long time, I'm really optimistic about this card for a few reasons I'm going to tell you later on in the video. But the first thing I do want to say is this, guys. According to the Petal team, this is kind of like almost a perfect credit card. So in this video, we're going to call customer service and test them out and go over all the pros and cons. So stick around for that. Now, if you don't know me, guys, my name is TommyBryson. I'm an accountant and I've been practicing personal finance for the past 4 years now. And on top of that, I'm the only YouTuber on YouTube, I think, that posts every single day on finance videos that help you every single day. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Now, on top of that, I always ask you guys a question before the video starts just to make sure we're on the same page. So let me know in the comments down below, is this the first time you're hearing about the Petal Credit Card or is it not your first time? For example, my first time hearing about it was through the comments and also through Instagram. I got hit with a whole bunch of ads on Instagram. So that's how I really found out about it and started doing some research and digging on the company. So let me know in the comments down below, is this the first time you're hearing about the Petal Credit Card or is it not? And if it's not your first time, let me know where you heard about it first. So let's get right into the video, but before we call customer service, I do want to break down a few of the factors on this Petal Credit Card and a brief summary on it basically. And the first thing is this, guys. When you talk about the Petal Credit Card, the first thing I think about is a secure credit card on steroids. Now here's why. When my mom had no credit history whatsoever, which she has a pretty good one now, but when she didn't have one, I recommended to her the Capital One credit card, secure card, or whatever like that, right? And she had to do 3 things. The first thing is this. She had to deposit money. She had to get fees, because those accounts have fees. And on top of that, she had no cashback benefits. And she had to give up all that stuff. And with this Petal Credit Card, you have all those things and more. And you don't even need a credit score to actually qualify for it. And that's a pretty cool thing for me. Because, for example, if my mom had found this card back then, she could have instantly gotten cash back on her purchases. And on top of that, she could have built her credit score. On top of that, there wouldn't be any fees associated with the accounts. And she would have had a pretty decent credit line without having to deposit any money ahead of time. And one of the things I really like about this card is that it has a feature where it tells you, well, if you pay this amount for this amount of time, you'll finish at this amount of time. And usually other credit cards just don't tell you anything. They send you a statement, a very boring statement, and don't really tell you anything. Just tell you, hey, just pay for 5 years and you're good to go. But this card right here kind of shows you a way to pay off your entire balance in a way that, hey, you're not going to pay so much interest. And by the way, I never, ever, ever recommend you carry a balance under any circumstances. So I like the feature, but I'm not recommending you carry a balance, just to be clear. So now that we got the basics down, let's call customer service and actually test them out and see what they're all about. By the way, the customer service is supposed to be 24/7, and that's why I'm so excited about this company, because they have a lot of good features, no gimmicks, and they also have 24-hour customer service. Now, here's the thing. Whenever you have 24-hour customer service, you either have good quality or you have bad quality, and it's like 24 hours every single day, but it's still bad quality. So we're going to test it out and see what the card is all about and ask all the questions that you're probably thinking about right now.
Good morning. Thank you for calling Petal. My name is Jessica. How can I help you?
Hey, my name is TommyBryson. I'm not a member yet, but I'm just calling in to get some information about the card. So I got a whole bunch of questions that I want to ask you if that's cool with you.
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't catch your first name again.
Tommy.
Okay, Tommy. Ask away.
Okay, awesome. So what are the requirements to actually join the entire Petal Credit Card team?
Well, the requirements is that you be a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Over the age of 18 with an active bank account.
Okay, awesome. And when you say U.S. citizen, do you also mean like a permanent citizen, or do you have to be a U.S. citizen? Just to clarify.
You have to have either an ITIN or a Social Security number.
Okay, awesome. And the customer service is 24/7, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because I noticed when I called in, I waited less than a minute to actually get put on, which is insane. Yeah, it's really good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. We appreciate that. That's what we strive for.
That's awesome. And what are some of the fees associated with the account? Because I do see that you guys say no fees whatsoever, but I'm just trying to clarify, see if there's any fees whatsoever.
Nope, not at all. Not a one. No late fees, no over the limit fees, no international fees if you like to travel.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
Okay. And when it comes to credit scores and actually qualifying for the cards, do you guys do a soft check or a hard inquiry?
So our application process is 2 steps. Okay, the first step is the soft pull.
Okay.
Okay. Once you're actually asked to complete the application, that's going to include you clicking to agree to our terms and conditions.
Yeah.
That's when we do the hard pull.
Okay, so what it sounds like is the first thing you guys do is just to make sure that person can even qualify so they don't waste their time. It's kind of like do a soft pull so they understand like, hey, you actually have a better chance of actually qualifying, or you don't. Maybe just try again a later time, something like that.
Absolutely correct, Tommy.
Okay, awesome. And for example, when it comes to, because I did see that you don't really need like a credit history to actually qualify for the card. So for example, if someone doesn't have like the highest credit score, but they don't have any bad marks or late payments or anything like that, does that improve their chances also, or is it just like do you only get denied basically when you have like bad marks in your and bad late maybe bad late payments and stuff on your account?
Well, the thing is, Tommy, we actually don't go by your score. We're looking at the actual report itself to
Oh
make
wow.
that determination.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's what separates us from other well-known companies, that
Yeah.
we know that the score is not an actual, and sometimes not an accurate determination of who
Yeah.
you are as a consumer.
Yeah.
So we don't use that. We actually review your financial cash flow. We review the what's on your actual credit report. That's
Yeah.
how we make the determination, and it's done electronically through the application. There's no one actually
Yeah.
double checking everything for
Yeah.
you.
That's awesome. And for example, because
Thank you.
for example, if a person goes through, signs up, and gets rejected, can he call in and kind of like make a case to actually get approved? Or is it kind of like you just got rejected and that's it?
I wish he could, Tommy.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish he could, but unfortunately, once a decision has been made, because Petal is not allowing reapplications right
Yeah.
now, that decision is final until we do start allowing reapplications.
Okay, that sounds good. And when it comes to the APR, for example, what's the APR? Like, what does it range?
Okay, so the lowest APR is going to be 15.24%,
Okay.
and it goes all the way up to 20.24%, and that's variable.
You said 20 what?
26.24%.
Oh, 26%. And I assume like the APR is high mainly because you guys have no fees whatsoever, and you guys also have like 24-hour customer service. There's a lot of costs associated with the entire business.
No, honestly, I don't think it's just really that. That probably has something to do with it. But I think it's also because we are lending credit to people that are typically
not
given it.
Yeah.
So,
and to be honest,
so there's a lot involved.
to be honest, a lot of times when a person gets, for example, a secure credit card, since they don't have a credit history, sometimes the APR is like 35%. That's not even that's normal. Yeah. So
we actually provide pretty decent rates, as well as pretty decent credit limits to people who typically don't qualify at all for a credit card, or they do only qualify as long as it's a secured card, and we don't offer secured cards.
Yeah, which is great.
So we're basically giving you the same quality of a card as well as benefits with the card. Yeah. But we just put higher interest rates on it.
And when it comes to credit limit, what's the highest limit and the lowest limit you actually give out?
It's from $500 to $10,000.
Okay, that's pretty fair. That's not that bad. And
yeah.
And I'm assuming since you guys are trying to build like other people's credit, you guys do report to like the 3 boroughs, right?
Yes, we do. So you will. That does happen. It takes normally about 6 to 8 weeks before Petal shows up on your credit report. Yeah. But then after that, it is the monthly reporting.
Okay, so now the exciting part. How does the cashback actually work? Yeah.
Okay, so you know the exciting part. Yeah. So basically, everybody with a Petal card gets 1% cash back on every transaction.
Okay, everyone.
Now, that doesn't include, things like wire transfers and things like that.
Yeah.
But just your standard purchases, you get 1% cash back automatically. Okay.
Okay.
Now, after you make 6 on-time payments, we will increase that to 1.25% cash back. And then after you make another 6 on-time payments, we increase it to 1.5% cash back.
Yeah.
Okay. And these are not necessarily consecutive payments, if I'm being honest. So once you start paying us on time, we'll pay you back on time.
That's awesome. And when it comes to the cash back, you guys give it back like instantly or at the end of the month?
If you're a new customer, it won't show up until the following month.
Yeah.
It is a new program. We just started it in May. So a lot of the customers who sign up at the first part of May that are now getting their June statements, they're starting to see the cashback show up in the app. And of course, it can be redeemed back towards your Petal account, like your transactions, or once you actually reach a $20 limit, you can actually send you a check.
Okay, awesome. And what it sounds like to me is kind of like you guys are, one, giving the person access to a good credit card, but eventually they get access to like a very good credit card because eventually it goes up to 1.5%, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are one of a kind. I have not come across, even being in the industry for a while, I've come across a credit card like this before. That we treat customers who are normally turned away by others. We treat them like like they're just as valuable, because they are. And your credit score does not determine who you are. So we don't want you turned away because of that.
Exactly. And when it comes to, for example, I did notice like on the website, you guys have like a feature to help the person figure out, for example, if they make a purchase, like how long are they going to be paying it for? I think it's like a budgeting tool, something like that. How does that work?
We have a couple of different tools, actually. It's on the website. It's also on our really cool app. It's we have the interest calculator, and we also have the budgeting calculator. So let's talk about the budgeting calculator.
Awesome.
What that does is it actually allows you in the app or online to set like a bar where you think you can manage your account, as far as how much you want to charge up monthly.
Okay.
Now, it will not stop you from going over, but it's a good visual tool in the event that you start charging, you see yourself getting closer and closer to that bar you set, and it might help you slow down so you can manage a little bit better. Okay, so we have that tool there. And then we also have, and we call it more like a spending planner, but we also have what's called like an interest calculator. And the interest calculator is really cool too. Okay, now we would love that no one have to pay interest. Okay, because of course nobody wants to pay fees. Oh, not fees. Nobody wants to pay extra on what they spent. But in the event that you cannot pay off your full statement balance by the due date, you can actually use the interest calculator to put in how much you are able to pay. And it will calculate for you how much interest you're going to pay on the remaining amount.
Which is very cool,
so
because
you have an idea. Yeah,
because on average, like all the credit cards, all they do is like send you a statement and tell you like, hey, pay in 3 years or 5 years,
Right. No, we want you on top of it. We want you on top of this. There's nothing worse than being upside down in credit card spending. It's the worst. It doesn't feel good. It's very stressful for a lot of people. So we want to help you be on top of this so that you use your credit responsibly.
Okay, awesome. And when it comes to, can I add an authorized user or not yet?
Not yet, unfortunately, no. So it's just a solo account, so no authorized users, no co-owners or anything like that.
Okay. And can I put the credit card on, for example, on the Apple Pay or all that stuff?
Unfortunately, we do not support contactless payment currently. So if we are looking at doing that, we do get a lot of requests for Apple Pay or Google Pay, but as of right now, we don't have that available.
Okay, but you guys, it does sound like you guys are working on that, basically, like maybe in the upcoming months.
We're working on it. Oh yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we're working on it, and trust me, we keep our customers very informed.
Okay.
So whenever we bring out new products or new updates to our products, we definitely send out like emails. We're pretty much a digital company. We do not mail paper statements.
Okay.
So
which saves money.
A lot of emails. I'm sorry.
Which saves money on the planet, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Saves money, saves the planet. It's a good thing for us. And of course, I mean, a lot of people do everything digital anyway. So what's the point of getting a paper statement if you're just going to pay through the app anyway?
That is true. And what about when it does come to fees and stuff like that, right? Because you guys have no fees. What about balance transfers and also cash advances?
Unfortunately, we do not support either of those. Okay, so your Petal Card is just used for solo for spending. That's it. Purchases only.
And do you guys just
okay? And it is a Visa card. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, go ahead. It is a Visa card. What you were saying?
No, I was just saying it's a Visa card, so it is accepted anywhere that Visa is.
Okay,
and
awesome.
so it's really cool. A lot of people prefer our card because they can travel with it, and it doesn't charge them international fees.
Okay. And you guys have been around for how long?
We opened in 2016.
In 2016.
We just started sending out cards, or more so getting accounts set up in fall of last year.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're working on it for quite some time before we made it available to our customers, and we're just steadily improving as we go along, based off of what we want and also what the customers are asking for.
Awesome. And do you think eventually, like maybe in the future, sometime in the future, You guys are gonna use just like the same method to maybe like create like a checking accounts and a savings accounts?
You know what? We've talked about that. I'm not too sure about that right now. I'm really not. But we love hearing things like that to see who's actually requesting it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll do, Tommy, is I'm going to actually write that down, and I'm going to forward that to the powers that be. Any feedback, all feedback is welcome.
Okay.
And maybe just like the contactless payment, maybe we get enough people asking for it. It's something that we'll consider.
Okay,
so right
awesome.
now, it's just the credit card.
Awesome. And when it comes to this credit card right now, because this is like one of like the first one, basically like the 1.5%, 1% when you start, and all these cool features. But eventually, do you guys think, are you gonna like offer like maybe like travel credit cards that offer like maybe higher bonuses and maybe like sign up bonuses and all type of stuff like that? Maybe like sometime in the future.
We've talked about that as well. We do have customers that ask for like referral bonuses and things like that. So trust me, Petal is very good on requesting feedback from their customers.
Mm-hmm.
We want to know how we can make this a better product for you. Okay. And so we're out on social media. You can find us on many different platforms. Yeah. And if there's ever feedback that you want to provide, Tommy, always give it to us no matter what it is. If we don't have it available, we may be working on it, or we may have to put it on our product roadmap for you.
Okay, awesome. And when it comes to liability protection and fraud protection?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So if you have an issue with the merchant and you need to file a dispute, we're definitely here to support you in that. We will file disputes for you. If you have any fraud on your account, absolutely, we will investigate that as well. All you have to do is pick up the phone and give us a call and let us know what's going on so we can get to rolling on that for you. Okay, awesome. And when it comes to customers' privacy, you guys like because there's some companies out there that are kind of shady, but I did read through like your agreement, and it says that you guys don't sell any other information, you guys don't share with third parties. So is that true? Right. That is true. And if there's ever anything that you want to opt out of, please opt out of it. We definitely don't want to do anything that you don't that you don't approve of, but there are going to be some things that you may have to opt out of. Okay. When you do, remember you're talking about the application, when you click to accept our terms and conditions, there are going to be some things that you are allowing us to do. Yeah. But we will always provide you with opt-out methods, okay? Okay, awesome. And for example, I noticed that not too long ago, I think it was 2 months ago, Chase came up with an agreement now that their customers can't participate in a class action lawsuit. Do you guys have the same thing? Like, I saw that. Yeah. I actually read that same article. Yeah. To be quite honest, Tommy, I'd have to look into that for you. I don't know the answer to that right offhand. Okay. But I do want to look into that. So you're looking for. The question is, if anything does happen with the company, can a customer participate in a class action lawsuit? Like, not that it's going to happen or anything like that. No one wants that to happen, obviously. But if that does happen, can the customer participate in it? Because I know Chase rolled out a feature like you can't do it anymore. Like, you have to opt out, and the only way you can opt out is by writing them a letter, and that's a lot of people like missed out on that. Yeah, I saw that. Well, let me double check on that for you, Tom. If you don't mind, let me place you on hold. I'm gonna get all the details surrounding that type of thing. All right, awesome. So I can come back and address any other questions you may have. Okay? Can I place you on hold for a few moments? Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you. Awesome. So that's really like my last question for her. But so far, guys, I'm very surprised by the customer service. Very nice. Very, very informative, because I don't really care if you're nice. I just care about how informative you are. And she's both, which is great. And I literally got put through the line in like less than 30 seconds. And it wasn't like, hey, like follow these menu options. They changed. No, it was kind of like, hey, click 1 to talk to a real person. And that was about it. It was pretty cool. Very amazing. And I like it so far. So far, it sounds great. And I'm kind of curious about the entire travel card, the entire like balance transfers and all that stuff. They probably don't offer that because they just want you to stick with them and maybe like not do that because you are like a new person, and whenever you do that stuff like that, you probably need money, and those are not like good signs that you're managing your money well. By the way, when you take a travel, like when you take a balance transfer, those are not good signs for companies. So maybe they just try to avoid all those things and not even give you access to it, so you can't like sabotage your own credit future or anything like that. So it's pretty cool so far. Really like it. This is my last question, just to make sure if anything does happen, can we participate in a class action lawsuit? Because you never know. So might as well just double check. Okay, Tommy, thank you for patiently holding. Sorry for that delay there. It's all good. Okay, so I actually had to check with all of our terms and conditions, and it's pretty thick there. So there is a lot regarding arbitration, but we do not, that I can see, have the same clause that Chase does. To answer your question, no, we do not have that same thing, not from what I can see. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was my last question, honestly. So I just take all this information. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll take all this information and then talk to my wife about it, see what we think about it.
You're welcome, Tommy. Thank you so much for calling, Petal. Have a great week.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So first thoughts to this. Customer service was incredible. It was amazing. I had a lot of fun talking to her because she knew everything she was talking about. And this is the thing, guys. I don't mind being put on hold, but I do mind when it takes a long time for me to get on the phone. So eventually this is what happened, right? I took 30 seconds to get on the phone. Great. And then when she put me on hold towards the end, I appreciated that because I'd rather she take her time to actually find out everything, because you have to go through the entire terms and condition. By the way, I already knew the answer, okay? I just wanted to test her out. But I appreciated that because guess what? Now I know the right answer. She confirmed everything, and now she knows it, so she can forward it to someone else anytime somebody asks about it. So I really appreciated that. So customer service for me is a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think customer service was good? Do you think it was bad? Let me know what questions you wanted me to ask or what questions you thought I didn't have to ask. So let me know in the comments down below right now before I tell you guys my pros and my cons and also my final thoughts. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the pros to the Petal Credit Card. Now, the first thing I noticed is this, right? No fees, and for the first time ever, a company really means it. And here's the thing. It's almost impossible to say no fees and have a balance transfer fee and all this other stuff. So what they did is this. They said, all right, we're not going to do that, okay? Because we're going to make sure if you're sticking here, it's not because, hey, you have to balance transfer because you got into debt like crazy, because they're not going to allow it. And on top of that, there's no cash advance fee. That's why they use Visa, so you can actually cash for everything, you know? You can pay for everything. So I like the entire thing. There are literally no fees associated with the account. And I really like that because, hey, no fees equals more money in your pocket. And if you mess up, every now and then, you never really know. Guess what? You're good to go because there are no fees associated with the account. So far, really like that feature. That's one of my first pros. The second thing I really like about the Petal Card is this. Now, I love cards that use technology, and I think Tally also does this. They tell you like, hey, if you pay this much, you'll finish at this time and all that stuff. I love that stuff. And I like that they're using features of budgeting and also spending limits and all this other stuff. And they're not limiting you. They're just showing you how the data is going to work and how long it's actually going to take you to pay it off. And I get it, you know, credit cards make money off of you carrying a balance. And I might tell you guys here, the guys that come and watch these videos, most of you guys are very smart, like smarter than I am. And here's the thing. On average, I know you guys won't carry a balance, but the other people, the regular population, they're going to carry a balance. And I'd rather they carry a balance on a 15% to 26% than on a 35% if you don't have any credit history. And I really appreciate that. The interest rate isn't that high, but I never, ever, ever recommend paying interest or carrying a balance. Not a good idea, okay? The third pro that I really like about it, it's not just your credit number or like your credit score number, it's also your bank account. It's also all the details to your credit score. I like how they take all that stuff into perspective. By the way, they're probably going to take in credit utilization like crazy. Credit utilization is how much money you're using versus how much money you actually have. So, for example, if I register and I only have a 650 and they look at my credit score and say like, hey, this guy has a 650, not that good, not that bad, it's whatever, it's average. But in reality, look at his credit score. He has no bad marks. He has no late payments. He looks like he's doing very well. He's going to be a good contendant. So I appreciate you guys looking more into detail on people's character and all the details rather than just a little number and a figure, because the figure only tells you part of the story, but not the entire story. And I really appreciate that. So good job on that part. The fourth thing I really like about the card, that it's an alternative to a secured card with a lot more benefits. And not just like a secured card and like the new people. It's kind of like a card that starts you off in a good place. If you have no credit history, it starts you off very good at 1%. But eventually, the more you pay, the more payments you pay on time and all that stuff, eventually you graduate to a point where, hey, you started with this card, but you can also stay with the card because you're still going to get 1.5%. And I really appreciate that because it's not like, oh, 1%. But eventually you get to 1.5%, and that's exactly what Chase Unlimited starts with. And on average, people with no credit history can't qualify for that card. And it's great that you actually get the chance to actually get this card. So that's pretty good. Now, the fifth thing I really liked is customer service and the transparency to the company. She was very honest about everything, revealed everything, privacy and the clauses and all that stuff. I really appreciate transparency when it comes to a credit card, and I really appreciate customer service when it comes to a credit card. My initial thoughts were this, okay? My initial thoughts were this. If this credit card company is doing 24-hour customer service, either two things are going on. It's either good customer service or it's either bad. By the way, I didn't do it on purpose, but it is a bad customer service, okay? And in this case, it's 24-hour good customer service. Just by her, I can tell that they have a really good customer service, you know, and they actually take care of their people. So I really appreciate that. Very good job there. Now, when it comes to the cons, right, because no credit card is perfect, I would really appreciate it if it just wasn't like, for example, if eventually you guys get like a travel credit card, or eventually you start including like different little things inside of the credit card. For example, Discover does this all the time. Example, maybe one time during the month you offer people like maybe 3%, maybe 5%, like whatever it is. That's pretty cool. So you get 1.5% cash back on everything. But every now and then, like every few months, you also get a promotion of maybe like 3% or 5% on groceries, gas station, Amazon, shopping. And that benefits you guys a lot because during those periods, a lot of people are going to be using their money like crazy and they're going to be carrying a balance for a while. So that's pretty good. You profit from it, and also the customer profits from it, theoretically, you know, and they also get some benefits. So that's pretty cool. I really appreciate that. On top of that, the APR is high, but it's not that high. When you take into consideration that this is a starter credit card. So it's pretty average, not really like a big con, but it's just there just in case you guys want to know what I think about the APR. Another con is this: 500 to 10K is kind of low, but in reality, it's kind of high again for one of these cards because it is a starter card. And since it is a starter company right now, eventually I do think as they start building an entire customer base, they will like up that up maybe like 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. It all depends. And eventually they will keep growing. And the way the company is going, I think they're going to do pretty well. And I'm pretty happy with it so far. The one detail I do want to tell you guys is this. This is kind of like the first credit card you should get when you have no credit score that eventually will get you to a credit card that kind of makes a lot more sense. Because for example, this credit card keeps evolving to a point where you go from 1% to 1.5%, and that's pretty good. For example, I wouldn't leave this credit card to go to Chase Unlimited because Chase Unlimited just gives me 1.5%. It's the same thing, but the customer service over here and all the features with no fees is almost 10 times better. So I really appreciate this card way more. So you start off like regular, but eventually you graduate to something that's pretty good and pretty awesome. So far guys, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about the Petal Card so far? What do you think about the customer service, the pros, the cons? What do you think about all that stuff? Comment down below right now before I tell you my final thoughts. So now that you commented, I do want to tell you guys my final thoughts, and here they are. When I think about the Petal Card, I think about a secure card on steroids. I think about a normal credit card on steroids also because there's no fees whatsoever. And you might say, Tommy, there's no balance transfer, there's no cash advances. In what case would you need a balance transfer or a cash advance if you're taking care of your finances, you know? So I really don't care about that much because it's kind of like an easy out to transfer into stuff. And I do that all the time, yes, but I do it for business purposes and to make more money. But if you're getting this credit card, it probably means that you don't have a good credit score yet, or you have no credit history whatsoever. And it's almost a perfect credit card so far. And I really like it, you know? And guys, eventually, I do think these credit cards are going to become the norm, where there are no fees whatsoever and you get all these cool benefits and you don't need to have a perfect credit score, and companies are going to start looking at more of your credit history and all that stuff rather than just your credit score. And I really appreciate that when it comes to this company. And I also think eventually as the company gets bigger and bigger and bigger and they have more data to show how the customers actually like qualify and all that stuff, I think eventually they should offer travel cards and bonuses just for like signing up. That would be pretty cool. So for example, you sign up, you get 20,000 points, like 30,000, 50,000 points. And then that's when you're going to get a lot of people coming in. And then that's when all the real money is actually going to start right now, you know? Because right now it's kind of like starter, great. But when you get to this point of travel cards and bonuses and a lot of rewards, that's when the money is actually going to come through the door flooding. And I really look forward to that, honestly. And you guys are probably wondering, Tommy, you did ask about a check-ins and a savings, and they're not probably going to do it. And is that a big deal for you? And the answer is no, not really. And I asked that as a trick question, right? And here's why it's a trick question. Because eventually, when a company starts expanding way too much, they start creating products that contradict each other. Thus, they don't have the best rates anymore. So this credit card is very good, but imagine having a savings account with a competitive rate of maybe like 2.35%, meaning that people aren't really going to spend the money anymore, you know? So I get it. I'd rather have a company that focuses on credit cards and really masters it rather than a company that's trying to do everything and they're doing it subpar. So good job in that part. Really appreciate that. So in conclusion, guys, is the Petal Card a scam? Do I recommend it? And the answer is, this is like the third video out of 180 videos that I actually recommend a product. And this is very strange and it always catches me by surprise, you know? But the answer is yes, I do recommend it if you're starting out. It's a very good card. And if you don't have a good credit history, then I recommend it also. It's a pretty good card. And on top of that, you get bonuses, you get all this stuff. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't know what to tell you. And I like the customer service. I like everything about it. And guys, you guys know how I am, right? Customer service is everything for me. Value is everything. Transparency is everything. And when a company has all these features and they're not just trying to scam you, I really like that. And there's nothing to say about it. I'm never biased, you know? If the company has a great value system, a very good customer service, and by the way, companies get mad. Listen, companies get mad when I do these videos because I do customer service tests. And the answer is this: you only get mad if you hire the wrong people. If you have people like this woman that did a great job, a fanatic job, you wouldn't be mad at all. This is me exposing you and actually showing you if you have a good product or bad product. And people are going to notice it either way. Guys, in totality, I recommend this card. Really good. Let me know in the comments down below if you like it, if you don't like it, what do you think about it? Me personally, anyone that asks me about building their credit, I'm going to recommend this card. It's pretty good. It's pretty amazing. And it's pretty great, you know? And as always, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, leave a big thumbs up because it helps the channel out like crazy. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a video every single day. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one, uno a uno, just DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson. I reply to all my DMs 100%. And I'll see you guys next time in my next video. Thanks for watching and peace. Oh, by the way, before I go, comment down below any ideas that you do have because I'm running low on ideas. I post every single day. I need more ideas. Let me know in the comments down below any of your ideas. I'll see you guys next time in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace!
You've got to start at the bottom if you're ever gonna reach the top. You've gotta watch all the